ॐ प्रपन्नपारिजाताय तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः.
Namaste everybody. எல்லாரும் நல்லா இருக்கிறீங்களா? We are meeting after a break. I fondly hope நம்ம பிரேக்குக்கு முன்னால கவர் பண்ண போர்ஷன்ஸ் எல்லாம் நீங்க இன்னும் ஞாபகம் வச்சுருப்பீங்கன்ட்டு. அதர்வைஸ் யூடியூப்ல எல்லா ப்ரோக்ராம் இருக்கிறதுனால உங்களுக்கு there is always a flexibility திரும்பி போய் அதை கேட்கறதுக்காக. Let's move further. நம்ம பிரேக்குக்கு முன்னால பகவத்கீதால முதல் 6 சாப்டர் முடிச்சிட்டோம். The first ஷட்கம். Bhagavad Gita generally is considered to be of 3 ஷட்கம்ஸ். Each ஷட்கம் 6 சாப்டர் வச்சுட்டு அது depicting the Mahavakya Tattvamasi, slightly changed order. Tvam Tat Asi, நீ அதுவாக இருக்கிறாய். நீங்கிறது நீ, துவம் சொல்றது ஜீவாத்மா. அதை பத்தி தான் நம்ம முதல் 6 சாப்டர்ல ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஷட்கம்ல பார்த்தோம். ஜீவாத்மா, how it is residing in the body but not attached to the body, different from the body, different from the mind, different from the intellect and the ego. And எல்லா லிவிங் பீயிங்ஸ்லயும் ஆத்மா இருக்கு. அந்த ஆத்மா இருக்கிற வரைக்கும் தான் உடல் ஒர்க் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம். And we talked about the karma, path of karma yoga, doing one's duty for the sake of duty without consideration for the results from the duty or the action. அப்போ we saw the chapters Sankhya Yoga, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Sannyasa Yoga, அதுக்கப்புறம் தியான யோகா. அது வரைக்கும் முடிச்சோம். இன்னைக்கு we will be starting with the second ஷட்கம், the Bhakti Marga. The Karma Marga, Bhakti Marga, or the third one, Jnana Marga, they are 3 paths leading to the same destination of salvation, liberation, the nirvana or the moksha. So நம்ம இந்த ஷட்கத்துல பக்தி மார்க்கா பத்தி பார்க்க போறோம். Let's go further. First ஷட்கம் was revolving around the ஜீவாத்மா, அதனால அது கர்ம மார்க்கா. இந்த செகண்ட் ஷட்கம் ஞான விஞ்ஞான யோகா. ஞானங்கிறது நாலேஜ், விஞ்ஞானங்கிறது the anubhavam or the practicality. So theory and practical ரெண்டும் சேர்ந்ததுனா தான் learning is complete. இந்த பக்தி மார்க்கத்துல போறதுக்கு one has to take the goal as the supreme lord Paramatma. அந்த பரமாத்மாவை புரிஞ்சுக்கிறதுக்கு நடுவுல தடையா இருக்கிறது முதல்ல பார்த்திருந்தோம், அந்த பிரகிருதி, நேச்சர். புருஷா பிரகிருதி ரெண்டும் பார்த்தோம். புருஷா இஸ் த பரமாத்மா, பிரகிருதி இஸ் பார்ட் ஆஃப் பரமாத்மா, த நேச்சர். அதுல இருக்கிற குணங்கள், நம்ம ஆக்ஷன்ஸ், தே ஆர் ஆல் அரைசிங் அவுட் ஆஃப் த பிரகிருதி. அந்த பிரகிருதி மாயா இருக்கிறதுனால தான் we are not able to realize the பரமாத்மா. அப்போ அதை கிராஸ் பண்ணி போனாதான் பரமாத்மாவை போய் அடையிறதுக்கு முடியும். ஆனா அதுக்கு பரமாத்மா கிட்ட டோட்டல் சரண்டர் வேணும், பக்தி வேணும். The Lord Krishna says there are 4 categories of people who take on to the Bhakti Marga. One people who are distressed in life. நிறைய ப்ராப்ளம்ஸ் இருக்குது, அந்த ப்ராப்ளம் கழிஞ்சு போகணும்னு சொல்லிட்டு ப்ரே பண்றவங்க. The second one are the people who seek wealth. அதனால பொருள், பணம் கிடைக்கணும்னு சொல்லிட்டு பக்தி மார்க்கத்துல போறவங்க. மூணாவது கேட்டகரி, the people who are keen to know about they want to get the vijnana, they are keen, therefore they take into the Bhakti Marga. Fourth category of the people who have got the jnana and the vijnana. They are the higher level of people. Lord Krishna says to reach that level, one has to be through the cycles of rebirth many times. And Lord Krishna says all the prayers that one does to whichever God, the benefits are the same as if he is praying to the Paramatma. Though the destination Paramatma is a permanent one, the bhakti towards the other gods will bring him back. All these are explained in this chapter. Let's go further. இன்னைக்கு நம்ம பார்க்க போற 4 ஸ்லோகமும் from chapter 7, the Jnana-Vijnyana Yoga. Shlokas 7.3, 4, 5 and 7. Let's go further.
मनुष्याणां सहस्रेषु कश्चिद् यतति सिद्धये यततामपि सिद्धानां कश्चिन्मां वेत्ति तत्त्वतः.
Lord Krishna then tells Arjuna that he will tell Arjuna how to understand the superpower completely. And Lord Krishna says the knowledge of bhakti and the practice of bhakti, that is devotion, he will teach Arjuna, knowing which nothing else need to be known. And then Lord Krishna utters the Shloka 7.3. Let's have a look at it. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschit yatati siddhaye yatatam api siddhanam kaschit mam veti tattvataha. So Lord Krishna says here, sahasreshu manushyanam, ஆயிரக்கணக்கான மனுஷங்களுக்கு நடுவுல, among the thousands of men or the human being, kaschit, யாரோ ஒருத்தன் தான், only one person, siddhaye yatati, the one out of thousands, only one person takes efforts to go into the path of liberation. Yatatina takes efforts, siddhaye for liberation or for moksha. Yatatam api, even among those who puts in efforts, such siddhanam, the people, those noble souls, kashit, யாரோ ஒருத்தன் தான் மாம் வேத்தி தத்துவத்தா, என்ன இருக்கிற மாதிரியே புரிஞ்சுக்கிறான். That is, out of thousands of people, only one takes the efforts to understand me. But even among those who take such efforts, among those noble people, only one person understands me. That means it's a rarity. One has to do a lot of efforts to understand the Lord, the nature, the characteristics completely. So Lord Krishna says this is the reality. Not everybody is fortunate to know the superpower fully. One has to make efforts and even more efforts. Bookல விளக்கம் பார்க்கலாம். Among thousands of men, few strive to achieve perfection in yoga. And of such successful men, very few indeed actually know me. தமிழ்ல பல்லாயிரம் மனிதரில் ஒருவன் சித்தி பெற முயல்கிறான். முயற்சியுடைய சித்தர் பலரில் ஒருவன் என்னை உள்ளபடி அறிகிறான். இதுக்கு ஒரு உதாரணம் சொல்லுவாங்க. An example is normally quoted here. A fruit bearing tree, it has hundreds of fruits, and each fruit has got hundreds of seeds inside. That means a tree has got thousands of potential seeds which could grow into tree in future. But then not all the seeds get to see a fertile soil. Some fall on the rock, some fall in the desert, and some are eaten by the people, and very few get to see the soil and the water conducive for its growth. Same way, among the human beings, there are only few who are fortunate to pursue in the path and reach the destination. That's what it means. Now, Lord Krishna himself tells the nature and the characteristics of the superpower in the next shloka. Let's go further.
भूमिरापो नलो वायुः
भूमिरापो नलो वायुः
खं मनो बुद्धिरेव च
खं मनो बुद्धिरेव च
अहङ्कार इतीयं मे
अहङ्कार इतीयं मे
भिन्ना प्रकृतिरष्टधा
भिन्ना प्रकृतिरष्टधा.
Lord Krishna then goes on to explain the constituents of one part of his nature or the Prakruti. He is explaining the 8 constituents in the shloka 7.4. Let's have a look at it. Bhumihi, apaha, analaha, vayuhu, kam, manaha, buddhihi, evacha, ahankaraha, iti, iyam, me, binna prakritihi, ashtada. So Lord Krishna says, me prakritihi, ashtada binna. My Prakriti, Lord Krishna says, his Prakriti or his nature, that is one part of the nature, to be precise, the lower part of the nature. Ashtada Binna, it is in 8 parts or 8 constituents. What are they? Bhumihi, the Bhumi or the earth. Apaha, water. Analaha, fire. Vayuhu, air. Kam, the space. These are the 5 natural elements: the earth, water, fire, air, and the space. These are external elements, and they are 5 of them. And Lord Krishna now adds 3 internal elements in every human being. Manaha, the mind. Buddhihi, the intellect. Ahankaracha. Ahankara is ego. So Lord Krishna says the 5 external elements and the 3 internal elements, these 8 are the constituents of my lower nature or the lower Prakriti. The 5 elements and the mind, intellect, and the ego. These are the 8 constituents. விளக்கம் பார்க்கலாம். The earth, water, fire, ether, mind, that is consciousness, buddhi, awareness, and the ego, the individualized consciousness, These are the eightfold divisions of my Prakriti, the creative energy. We saw some time back the Prakriti and the Purusha. That is the one talked about here. Tamilla, Man, Neer, Thi, Katru, Van, Manam, Mati, Madina, the Buddhi, the intellect, Ahankaram, ego. இவ் 8 வகையாக 8 ways என் இயற்கை பிரிந்து தோன்றுகிறது. So he says the Prakriti nature, the lower nature, it is of the 8 constituents. What is the other part of the nature? That will come in the next shloka.
अपरेयमितस्त्वन्याम्
अपरेयमितस्त्वन्यां
प्रकृतिं विद्धि मे पराम्
प्रकृतिं विद्धि मे पराम्
जीवभूतां महाबाहो
जीवभूतां महाबाहो
ययेदं धार्यते जगत्
ययेदं धार्यते जगत्.
Lord Krishna first revealed the lower part of his nature. That's the 5 elements and the mind, intellect and the ego. Now Lord Krishna goes on to say which is the higher nature or the true nature of the Lord. Let's look at shloka 7.5. Apara iyam itaha thu anyam prakritim viddhi me param jiva bhutam mahabaho yaya idam dharyate jagat. So Lord Krishna here addresses Arjuna as Mahabaho. Mahabaho means the strong armed. Arjuna as a mighty warrior was strong armed. So Lord Krishna calls him O Mahabaho. Lord Krishna had told about the lower nature, so he now clarifies. Tu, but, anal, iyam, whatever he had talked about, those 8, the 5 elements and the mind, intellect and the ego combination, 8 of them, apara, they are the lower nature, lower prakriti. Para is superior, apara is inferior. So, lower nature. Itaha anyam, different from this. So, Lord Krishna says, whatever I had told you, that is the lower nature. Apart from this, there is another one. What is that? Jiva Bhutam. That is the life, the soul or the life for every human being. Me Param Prakriti. Ennudiya higher nature. So Lord Krishna says, apart from these 8 constituents of the lower nature, me Param Prakritim Viddhi. Understand or know about my higher nature also. What is special about that? He says, Idam Jagat, this world, Yaya Dharyate, idanaladhan thangapadudhu. It's sustained by this. Which means the lower nature constituents are the supporting elements, while the main sustaining part is the life itself. It is clear that that is the one which sustains the human beings. He is talking about the Atma. The root cause for the life is the Atma. I will not get into too much of spiritual details into this. Suffice it to know Atma. So there are Anatma, the rest of the things which we saw, and Atma. That is the lower Prakriti, Anatma, and the higher Prakriti, higher nature, that is the Atma. So Lord Krishna clarifies, specifies to Arjuna that apart from what I had told you of the lower nature, there is another one which is higher nature, that is the life, Atma. That is the one which is sustaining the world. Understand that. So Lord Krishna has clearly spelled out his true nature to Arjuna, and through Arjuna, of course, to all of us. விளக்கம் பார்க்கலாம். Arjuna, the mighty armed, this is my lower Prakriti. Whereas, please understand, the one other than this, my higher Prakriti, that's my very nature, which is the essential nature of the individual by which this world is sustained. தமிழ்ல இது என் கீழியற்கை, the lower nature, இதனின்றும் வேறுபட்டதாகிய என் மேலியற்கை அறி, அதுவே உயிராவது பெருந்தோளாய், அதனால் இவ்வுலகு தரிக்கப்படுகிறது. So Lord Krishna has very clearly spelled out the true nature of the God, the lower part and the higher part, Anatma and the Atma. And in this chapter, Lord Krishna is explaining the characteristics, the nature and the glory of the God, the superpower. So we are going to go further into the Bhakti Marga. We will see more of it as we go by.
मत्तः परतरं नान्यत्
मत्तः परतरं नान्यत्
किञ्चिदस्ति धनञ्जय
किञ्चिदस्ति धनञ्जय
मयि सर्वमिदं प्रोतं
मयि सर्वमिदं प्रोतं
सूत्रे मणिगणा इव
सूत्रे मणिगणा इव.
In the previous shloka, Lord Krishna had clearly brought out the two levels of his nature, Prakriti. The lower level Prakriti and the higher level Prakriti. Lower level Prakriti consisting of the Bhumi, earth, water, fire, air, and the space or the sky. In addition, the Manas, mind, Buddhi, the intellect, and the ego, Ahankara. See, இதெல்லாம் சேர்ந்துட்டு lower level Prakriti. The higher level Prakriti is the Atma. So Lord Krishna further had explained that the Jiva Prakriti or the Kshetrajna, that is the Atma. In the Kshetrajna pati nama detail we will read about it in the subsequent chapters. So the Jiva Prakriti, Atma, Jada Prakritiya, the lower level Prakritiya, Tanodu Udala Amichindu, that is the body made up of the lower Prakriti, while the Atma is the higher level Prakriti, and the rendu சேர்ந்துட்டு இருக்கிறது தான் all the living beings. So he says the Jiva Prakriti, Jada Prakriti வந்து தன்னோட உடலா வச்சுக்கிட்டு, that is Jiva Prakriti adopts the Jada Prakriti as the body and it sustains it. இவ்வளவு தூரம் பார்த்தோம். இப்போ அடுத்த ஸ்லோகத்துல Lord Krishna is explaining how is he the uniting force behind everything, the Paramatma. How? ஸ்லோகத்தை பார்க்கலாம். Mattaha parataram na anyat kinchit asti Dhananjaya. Mayi sarvam idam prottam sutre maniganaha iva. Idla Lord Krishna addresses Arjuna as Dhananjaya, the winner of wealth. So he says, O Dhananjaya, Mattaha, Mattaha na enna vida, nothing beyond me. Mattaha parataram, enna vida melanadu, there is nothing bigger than me or more glorious than I am. Anyat kinchit na asti. Where edume illa. So Lord Krishna tells Arjuna, Enne vida melanadu, where edume illa. I am the ultimate. So he says the Paramatma is ultimate. There is nothing beyond that. And he says, now he says the secret, how are the things held together? So he says, Sutre, Sutre na the string, nool, nool which nama money, pearls எல்லாம் கட்டுறோம் இல்லையா, வெவ்வேறு விதமான the multi-various pearls we tie together through a string. The string is invisible, but that forms the core for holding that all together. So he says, Sutre, அந்த மாதிரி நூல்ல மணிகணாக இவ, and the cluster of pearls together, strung together, and the madri idam sarvam. Inge vandu all these things, whatever we see in this universe, mayi, no, enidathil, that is Lord Krishna says, avarkitta protham கோர்க்கப்பட்டிருக்கின்றன. அப்படின்னா கோர்க்கப்பட்டிருக்கிறதுனா they are strung together. So Lord Krishna says there is nothing superior to him in this universe. And he says all that is there in this universe, they are strung together like the pearls are strung together in a string. So he beautifully explains how the living beings happen because of the Prakruti, lower Prakruti and the higher Prakruti, and the higher Prakruti takes the body as its abode and supports it. And nothing in this world is beyond that superpower, and all are held together like the string holding the pearls together. It's a beautiful shloka. There is a lot of meaning behind it. Kindly dwell over it. You will get more meanings out of that. Bookla koduthirukra meaning, there is nothing whatsoever that is superior to me or higher than me, O Dhananjaya. All that is here is strung upon me like pearls on a thread. Appa na explain panna madri, all creations here in this universe are due to the combination of the kshetrajna, that is Atma, and the kshetra, that is the body. In fact, there is a separate chapter dedicated to explaining this kshetra and the kshetrajna in chapter 13. Anga varumbodhu we will see more in detail. So Lord says the Paramatma is the reason for holding them all together. Tamilla, Dhananjaya, என்னை காட்டிலும் உயர்ந்த பொருள் வேறெதுவும் இல்லை. நூலில் மணிகளைப் போல் இவ்வையகமெல்லாம் என் மீது கொக்கப்பட்டது. So Lord Krishna says the reason for the creation, and the Panchabhudam plus the mind, intellect and the ego, they together form the body, while Atma is the higher level. They join together reason for all creations, and those are held together by the Lord Paramatma as the string is holding the variety of pearls. It's a beautiful shloka. Please dwell on it more. Now, first shatkam of 6 chapters, Tvam Padartha, that is the Karma Marga, அதை பார்த்துட்டு second shatkam of the next 6 chapters, அதில் chapter 7, JNYANA-VIJNYANA Yoga, part of the Bhakti Marga. அதில் பார்க்குறோம் ஞானம்ங்கிறது வந்து நாலேஜ், விஜ்ஞானம்ங்கிறது வந்து அனுபவம், the practicality. யூஸ்வலாக இதுக்கு எக்ஸாம்பிள் சொல்லுவாங்க த மில்க், பால். பாலுங்கிறத பற்றி வெறும் கேட்டிருந்ததுன்னா அது அஜ்ஞானம், இக்னோரன்ஸ். அந்த மில்கை வந்து ஒன் ஹூ ஹஸ் சீன் இட், ஹி ஹஸ் காட் நாலேஜ், ஞானா. ஆனால் அந்த மில்கை டேஸ்ட் பண்ணியிருந்ததுன்னா, அதனுடைய சுவை தெரிஞ்சதுன்னா அது வந்து விஜ்ஞானம், முழுச உணருது. ஸோ த அனாலஜி இஸ் கடவுளை பற்றி முழுசா தெரிஞ்சுட்டு அவரு கூட ஐக்கியமாறுது. That is what the Bhakti Yoga is about. JNYANA-VIJNYANA Yoga is taking us towards that. இதுல முதல்ல நம்ம பார்த்தோம், only 1 in 1,000 attempts to achieve enlightenment in seeing the reality, going towards the goal of attaining the moksha. And even amongst those who attempt, Lord Krishna says only a few actually attain the enlightenment. He further says, he explains, Lord Krishna explains the nature of his Prakruti, the 2 levels of his nature, Prakruti. The lower Prakruti consisting of 8-fold divisions, that is the Panchabhuta plus the mind, intellect and the ego. That forms the body. The lower Prakriti, that is the Kshetra. The second part of the Prakriti or the higher one is the Atma. That is the Kshetrajna, the one who dwells in the body. So Atma lives in the body and supports the body. And then we saw Lord Krishna saying that Paramatma holds them all the creations together like a string holding a variety of pearls. So he gives the insight into his nature, the lower level, higher level, and how they both form part of all the living beings, and how the Paramatma is holding everything together. So idu varaikum paathom. There are more things coming on Vijnana, the practicality, in the coming chapters. We will see next week. So we have transited from the Karma Yoga, Tvam Padartha irundittu Bhakti Yoga to the Tat Padartha. More to come in the days to come. Take care. Namaste everybody.
ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः.